First, let me put a shout out, if I could, for www.pastorpaulgold.com. That's www.pastorpaulgold.com. If you're over 40 and you're planning to retire someday, the window to protect what you've built may be smaller than you realize. Here's a question most people never ask. Is your portfolio built for what's coming next? Many investors in their 40s and 50s discovered they have little to no exposure to precious metals. That means their savings are largely tied up in the markets, the policies, the paper assets, with very little protection if conditions change, and they are changing. As retirement moves from someday to on the horizon, protecting what you've already built becomes just as important as growing it. That's where Noble Gold comes in. They're helping investors reduce the risk by adding physical gold to their portfolios. That's right, gold, a biblical currency. Right now may be the smart time to talk to Noble Gold. I highly recommend it. Go to the link below the video. Go to www.pastorpaulgold.com or call them on the phone at 877-646-5347. Why? There'll be no pressure. There'll be no sales gimmicks. Just clear answers and a strategy built around your goals. I highly recommend it, guys. And if you qualify, and you probably do, they're giving away this 3-ounce silver coin. Are you serious? 3-ounce silver coin. Amazing. Free for those who set up a gold or silver IRA or 401k or qualify, and you probably do. Check it out now, okay? You will be glad that you did.
A poem written in 1905 by Hazrat Ahmed has resurfaced amid fears that it foretells a modern global catastrophe, with some interpreting it as a warning of World War III. The poem describes massive earthquakes, widespread destruction, rivers of blood, and events in the sky, which believers link to current global tensions involving Russia and the West. Ahmed, founder of a movement in Islam, claimed divine revelations and warned repeatedly of catastrophic events following humanity's rejection of a divine messenger. Scholars and followers remain divided, with some saying the prophecy referred to past events such as World War I or major earthquakes in India rather than present-day conflicts, the Daily Mail has reported. Interest in the poem has grown again in 2026 as the doomsday clock remains at a record 89 seconds to midnight, heightening anxiety about global instability. President Trump said it is, quote, too late to stop construction of a new 90,000 square foot White House ballroom, calling it a privately funded $300 million gift to the country, despite a lawsuit that was filed by the National Trust for Historic Preservation. The ballroom, replacing the current East Wing, will seat about 650 guests and follow classical White House design. President Trump criticized the lawsuit as untimely and defended past changes to the East Wing, which he said had been repeatedly altered over the years, Fox News has reported. Since returning to office, President Trump has also made opulent renovations throughout the White House, including gilded accents in the Oval Office, a renovated Lincoln-era bathroom, and the installation of the Presidential Walk of Fame. These projects reflect his personal style and continued reshaping of the White House and the National Mall. Israel has recovered the body of Ran Gvili, the final deceased Israeli hostage held in Gaza since the October 7, 2023 Hamas attack, following a military operation in northern Gaza. Gvili, a 24-year-old Israeli police special forces officer, was killed during the attack and identified through dental records after his body was found in a cemetery. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said his return means there are no remaining hostages in Gaza, marking the end of an 843-day hostage crisis. The recovery concludes the first phase of the U.S.-brokered Gaza ceasefire, which included the return of Israeli hostages and the release of some Palestinian prisoners, ABC News has reported. Israel and Hamas are now set to enter a more complex second phase of the ceasefire, focused on Gaza's future, security, reconstruction, and the issue of Hamas's disarmament.
The world is experiencing an alarming series of apocalyptic events. Historic weather disasters, earthquakes, droughts, wildfires, impending economic collapse, the rise of AI. In Revelation 9:11, Pastor Paul Begley and Pulitzer-nominated journalist Troy Anderson investigate if these are the true signs of the end times. Is this the final meeting of current events and prophecy referred to in the Bible? Revelation 9:11. Order it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Target.com.